It's uploading.
You're good.
Got it. Got it. All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Sunday Stock Watch, where we go over our top picks for the week. What we'll be doing first, for those who are new, we go over the earnings, economic data, any Fed speakers for the week, because as we know, we need to know when, there's economic data or earnings or any Fed speakers, because they can absolutely move the market. After that, we will be going into the indices, ES, I believe, SPX, and then as well as going into our individual names, top stock picks for the week. So we're excited to have you guys. I'm your host, Mr. Banks, along with No Risk, No Premium. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yo, yo, yo. What up? What up? What up? What's happening, everybody? Happy Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. It is the time to get right, though, for the week. You guys know we always do this on a Sunday. Like you said, oh, excuse me. We always start with what is going to be driving the market as far as economic data. So we always head over to the economic calendar here on Market Watch. As you could see, Monday, really nothing going on. Just kind of nice to see. Just the federal budget that's at 2 p.m. No pre-market data, no data after the open. Nice to see. Then we got the big core CPI. Guys, you know why we always seem to pay attention when there is price data or jobs data? Why is that? Anytime the Fed has to make a decision whether or not on economic policy, it has to be tied around how much does stuff cost. So CPI, PPI, PCE, and how's the jobs market doing. So if there's jobless claims, if there's non-farm payrolls, if there's unemployment rate, if there's employment rate, whatever it might be surrounding that type of data, we need to be paying attention. So on to Tuesday, CPI, right? And then they're kind of mixing it up this week. Typically follows up CPI. The next day is PPI. That's not till Friday, though. So give it a little break here. Will be interesting in the schedule because you see Wednesday, nothing scheduled, right? So that's Tuesday pre-market. Want to pay attention. CPI Wednesday is a nothing burger. Jobless claims on Thursday. That's typically a normal data print on Thursday is that jobs claims in the pre-market. So let's be cognizant of that. Plus a slew of other data, retail sale minus autos as well will be interesting because you want to see what type of shit the consumers are buying. Right, home confidence home builder confidence index comes out 30 minutes after the open on Thursday. That's really the only data after the open for the entire week we need to pay attention to there. And then on the Friday, PPI comes in the pre-market, and the University of Michigan data, 1 year and 5 year inflation expectation, consumer confidence index, that all comes out right here 30 minutes after the open. As far as the week is concerned, CPI, PPI, yes, lighter week, no PAL this week, right? No PAL this week. But CPI, PPI, we do have that. We always head over to earnings whisper. Check out the economic data for this week. Please note down the 21st is Nevada. NVIDIA, just kidding. NVDA, we know that. But this week, it looks like quote unquote small caps or other, non-magnificent seven, whatever the hell you want to call them, like all the stocks that make up SPY, are not this week. We've kind of had those already going, but we do have like a Shopify, DraftKings, Coinbase, Airbnb, Upstart Waste Management, Roku. You guys know that we like Roku. We're in Roku right now. Robinhood, we have some swings in Robinhood going as well. So a lot of these guys do report this week. So let's pay attention there. A lot of those are quote unquote small cap or just not your big magnificent seven, but can be playable as well. I do like, you guys know, on earnings, you're either in very far in advance and you can, you can play the IV pump and have those pumped into your contracts, but we don't like to buy a lot of stocks coming into their earnings on the earnings day because you get those inflated premiums. It's better to play it the day after you get the IV crush. Things go on sale. You get the true understanding of the move from investors, after the earnings. So that's what we like to do there as far as the earnings, but no magnificent seven stocks. Onto the charts here. I always start with your futures, your ES, your NQ. So that would be the SPOOs or the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. And then we go into the cash ETF, SPY, QQQ, IWM. Then I'll let you guys know what I'm watching as far as some swings are concerned, or, short-term and long-term. But as we can see here, very nice uptrend and a continuation higher on Friday. Right. Ultimate goal here is 51.29. So 51.30 here. Why is that? I'll really quickly show you guys why that is. Okay. Just doing a very simple fib extension. I had some people asking Me why I had that number. COVID low. Whoop. COVID low to 2022 high to that recent swing low. There you go. 51.29. That is my fib extension level. That's where I think we can get to. 55.72 would absolutely capitulate bears if we got up there. But I do think a lot of people had this psychological level at 5,000. They thought that we were going to, crater underneath it or whatever. And I do think we pop up here. Now, are we going to be due for a pullback? Yes, absolutely. The market cannot just go up forever. But if you keep trying to time the top, you will absolutely get blown to smithereens. You will get to bent over and not feel good the next day walking around. Okay, stop trying to call the top. I mean, if you called it here, blown. You called it here, blown. If you called it here, blown. Right? Imagine if you just bought the goddamn dip every time. That's what the trend is. Don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. Okay. Scroll down to a 4-hour chart. So it looks a little bit cleaner. Like I said, 5130 is going to be my ultimate level. Let's watch for back tests at, 5018, 5020. That's been a very nice solid level. But if not, we can just continue this trend on up. Anything over 5050, really target 5100. Nice whole psychological 5130 above there on ES. Look for dips into 5,050, 20 to hold. Let's look at the NQ here. Looking at NQ. Guys, again, how did I get this 18,400? Let's zoom out again really quickly, giving you a Fibonacci extension tool or Fibonacci extension overview here, right? We went straight from down here to that swing high, back to the swing low, and there you have it. The 78.6 is right up there at 18,400. So I have a level up there, right? That's just a reminder. You guys can see a nice yellow level. Let's go down to the 4-hour though, right? Same thing, right? You guys could just see we tested balance, tested the top of the balance, went. Balance, tested the top of the balance, went, right? So the same thing. Gonna watch dips into 18,000 really to hold here now, right? The kind of the top of this wick of this candle. Boom. Right, top wick of that candle about 18,000. We could see if we get that back test and go. Ultimately, I do think we could trade about 400 points higher. That would be my ultimate area that I think I would expect us to get to. Obviously, the 880 level, right? 790. Like you guys see all these major levels you just want to pay attention to. But 18,000 and this 17,008 80 area is where I'll be watching for dips to hold for a nice continue of the trend back on up and higher. On to SPY, that's the cash ETF of the S&P 500. Right, we were looking for the back test into 498.50, right? 498.50. We were talking about that level on Friday. Why? We just back tested that balance that we had for a couple days, right? Little balance zone we had building out, back test and go. I do think 509. That's a fib level, a fib extension level. I'm not going to do it again. Go back and watch it to get that little tidbit of information. But this thing's moving on up. 498, 498.50, 500. Looking for back testing that levels or continuation over 501.65 takes us to 509. To the upside there. QQQ. Qs, same thing, right? Did we test the top of that old little balance zone? Yes, we did, right? Yes, we did. 433.50. 433.50. We went booting, scooting, tooting. I had a fib extension level up there. I don't know where it went to. So, quiz, guys. What's the fib extension level while I'm going through this? You guys can figure it out. It only takes about 2 seconds to do. But I think 440 would be the next cycle level to the upside. So break over 438 to the upside, 440, nice whole number. But look 433.50 and then down to this 430. Those would be the two levels I'll be watching for bounces there on QQQ. Guys, remember, you don't start trading. The market doesn't go into a downtrend until it breaks a major support. We have to break a major support first. You guys realize the uptrend just holds major supports the whole way up. Okay, so don't flip your bias until we lose a major support. Keep it very simple. IWM, Justin posted the chart in the watch list channel in the Discord. As you guys can see, we've just been building out. Now, this is that move I've been looking to have happen over this, 188, 190, now 193 level holding, continuing to hold here. This is that move we're finally looking to happen. It looks like it's coming. I do think that the market will continue to be in an uptrend as long as IWM stays bid, if you will, or just has buyers supporting. The moment they start selling off small caps, they'll likely start selling off the larger stocks as well. So just be cognizant of that, right? 198.50. How long have we had this level in here? I mean, forever ago, right? We could see last time we jumped up above it, we instantly sold off, right? So this will all be watching. Do we get a back test of this little 198.50 or even a little bit lower down to like 197 ish? If so, great. I will look to buy this dip and take this thing 202 to 205 from there. If we get back under 196, I do think we have a rotation down four to 6 points lower, taking us all the way to 192, 190 from there. IWM guys, Apple. I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. This is what I'm seeing for this week. Very nice. That looks like a cup, and that looks like a handle to me, right? Nice inside week after. Okay, nice inside week after this very long, ugly week the following week. Now, I want to give shout out to somebody in the group. Brian Christopher did point this out to me with a beautiful chart. If you guys are nice to him, ask him for his chart to post in the chat. He drew a very nice cup and handle. Textbook here. I'm going to be looking for the break of this weekly high, 191. 191. I'm going to look for the break of this weekly high to pretty much take us back to 199. Apple is a very inexpensive stock to play on the options chain. Look for a month out. Don't be greedy. Just look for a nice set of open interest or volume from Friday. I do like 191 to break to the upside or to hold this weekly low here, right? Hold the weekly low, 185. 185 can look for the call entry there if we want to get a little bit selly. On to GS, Goldman Sachs. Look at this long balance that we've been playing out a while. Now we've spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 months up here. We have spent 2 months up here pretty much, right? Is it going to break? Let's look at 180, 172, or 372. That's a gift. 372 is a gift. If we get down there, I will looking for swing longs. Now, this is a big boy stock with big boy contracts. So if you cannot afford this, don't even look at it. Okay, don't look at it. I'm going to have another small count play for you. That'll be very nice. But looking at 380 as an entry, 372 likely going to be the stop. I look for ads down in that area. But we want to take out 390. We want to take out 390 to the upside and zooming way out. We could just see if we do take that out. I mean, for 400 plus. You guys could see this very nice. I mean, look how condensed this is. Last time we had that many dots on the TTM, we ran from 190 to where? The highs? I mean, this is even more. This is consolidated like hell. If it breaks this 390 to the upside, it's going to go insane. Okay, so there's Goldman Sachs for you. We have AMD as well. Justin might even cover these a little bit more in depth and better than I do. But we can see what. Those is the monthly. Not going to look. Weekly chart here. Previous all-time high. Flagging above it. Textbook. Right? Break out of supply. Make it demand. There you go. Looking at the daily chart looks even cleaner here. Any dips into 160 to 165. Yes, that's a wide range, but these contracts are affordable. Buy a little further out. Okay, allow a little drawdown, 160, maybe a liquidity grab underneath, and then rip this thing on up. I'm targeting 185 after 185. Nice whole number 200. From there, look for a month to 3 month swing. If 160 holds, 160 has to hold. Other than that, is that all I got? That is all I got. Justin, what's going on?
What is going on, guys?
And what's happening, brother? What do you got for us?
So you guys, my top picks of the week. First is going to be Tesla. Now, gave you guys that call for this liquidity grab, right? I was harping on this. Watch for the liquidity grab underneath these lows. And we absolutely nailed it. Caught the bottom here on Tesla on this liquidity grab last week.
Yeah,
so
did we not snipe that bottom? Like I'm like,
it.
I think that day that we bought was the actual. I think it was that bottoming candle. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
we caught the swing trade that we're in, and then we caught the day trade as well. It was it was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
But going into this week, right? So now we're back into this range between 180, 196. I want to show you guys. It's gonna be very similar to last week. We're in this nice little range now, yet again. Really watching this 196.36 for a move and for this gap fill back into 206 and then 212 really to the upside here. We can see that we have this nice volume gap. If we decide to really get long here, this thing could really move very quickly into 206. And now I do believe before we get more downside, what I do want to say is yes, macro trend, the structure is still bearish, right? So we're still in a downward trend until we break this, right? So looking at the macro trend, we're still bearish. We still need to break this level here. But I do think we could get this nice little imbalance fill, at least the gap fill, before we head even lower. But just keep in mind, the macro trend is still bearish. I just want to keep that in mind with everyone is yes, we're bouncing out the bottom. We got a double bottom. We're pushing up, but the macro trend can easily still take us lower, right? Just going to say that out loud here. Don't get super biased on any trade, whether it's Tesla, whatever you're trading. Just guys, always keep in mind anything can happen. It could look like we're going to be bullish and then it turns bearish. It could look like we bearish, it turns bullish, right? So coming to the market every single week, bias free, play the levels and play the price action only. All right, so again, 196.36, looking for that break and hold to the upside. We have that gap fill I just showed you in a 206. This 212 would complete that nice little imbalance. The things we got going for it is this nice little volume gap. And let me throw on RSI and MACD for you guys. RSI momentum is now heading up, which is nice. We want to see that, right? Because RSI is a momentum indicator. It is a momentum indicator. And we're getting this momentum now up. We're also getting this MACD cross up as well. So it definitely is looking like possible bottom that we're putting in here on Tesla. So watching 196.36 to the upside. Also watching 185 down to 180 for any kind of bounce into this level. We can see 185 would be that nice little demand bounce in here, and then obviously our 180 level to the downside. But really watching 190 to 188 first, then 185 and 180 for a back test, or that blow off the top over 196 here on Tesla. For me to get short though, I do need that break and hold over the lows. So below 175, I would need below on Tesla. I am going to go over AMD one more time just to give you guys a nice little lesson here. We are in a bullish pennant, right? We are in this nice little bullish pennant. What is a bullish pennant? Well, that is a nice pattern, right? A lot of people call them flags, but it's technically a pennant, right? Typically, how they work is we have a nice big move up, we're getting some consolidation, and then we push out, right? I mean, you could see it over and over. Here's a good, very simple push up, come back down, gets tight, squeezes, we push up. If we're on a downward trend, it'd be the bearish pennant. So the same thing, except when we're on a downtrend. But since we're on an uptrend, like we are in AMD, right? Push up, coming back down, getting tight, looking for that to break to the upside. But again, keep in mind, we can break to the downside on this. So how I'm going to play this is either way. Either we break out of this trend, right, of the wedge to the upside, or we break out of this wedge to the downside. Now, if we break out of this nice little wedge to the downside at around 168, I would look for any kind of test into 165 or 160, 165 or 160 for a nice little liquidity grab. Potentially they push us down a little bit, grab all of retail trying to get short here for a little liquidity grab. We push this back up and then we head higher. How we'll play this really, you want to play either the back test coming back down lower or a breakout back test and head higher. But overall, we are in a bullish stance, a bullish thesis on AMD here. Next on the list is going to be Mara, everyone's favorite. Another one that we absolutely demolished last week. We caught this. So congrats to everyone that caught it on the team with us. Got the upside here on Mara. This week, I will be watching this nice little range that we're in, right? We're in a nice little range. If crypto wants to stay long, I am always watching crypto, especially when playing any kind of crypto stocks, Master, Coin, Mara. Coin has earnings, but Mara, right? For those who don't know, Coin Market Cap, very, very easy website, will help you with any kind of crypto news or any kind of crypto pricing that you can easily watch here. If you are playing any of the crypto stocks, always good to keep crypto in mind. If you don't have any, but you're playing the crypto stocks, Coin Market Cap, always my favorite easy website to use. Now for Mara this week, I am looking for this breakout over 2450. I'm going to call it 25 though. I like 25 a little bit better than 2450, just in case there's a liquidity grab to the buy side and they push us lower. 25 break and hold to the upside. We have this nice big imbalance to fill all the way up into about 28, 29 to the upside here. So we'll be watching for that. Also watching for a breakdown, right? Also watching for a breakdown into this nice little gap fill from this gap up that we had. and watching for any kind of holdings into about 22.21 here into this demand to become weak, and we hold these levels right here. Kind of look to take a bounce to head higher, especially if crypto is still charging up to the upside. Would look for that as well. Anything below though, if we break below 21, can go see the back test of 20. But I think if we want to stay strong, crypto stay strong, we could see that back test, have this gap fill. Nice little bounce for us to take long, or break and hold over 25 here for this imbalance to fill on Mara. One thing I do want to show you guys is Finviz. If you guys don't know, this is a great website for you. Let's go to the homepage. It gives you top gainers for the week, overbought, new highs. It's also really great to find kind of any kind of trades. They'll give you multiple tops, double bottoms, multiple bottoms, wedges up. Kind of really gives you whatever kind of signal you're looking for, any kind of pattern you're looking for, it's there. Another great tool to use is it has a complete screener here for you from, obviously it's free, so they give you a bunch of ads, but fundamentals, technicals, right, gives you all of these. If you guys don't already know, this is a great website to use if you want to find any kind of trades, right? You want to find things that are oversold or not oversold, go to the technical side, right? You can go to RSI. I want to see something, I want to try to find a swing of a bottom. And you could look at that, something like that for you. Sorry, there's a bunch of ads because it's free. You can pay for it or you can just keep it free. But there's another little lesson for you guys. I know a bunch of free education for you guys here. Next on the list is going to be Disney. Really loving this flag out here on Disney after earnings, right? We had a nice big breakout and break of structure here on Disney. What I'll be watching for is very similar to how Meta was, right? So I'll show you Meta real quick. Very similar to how Meta was, and we played it last week, right? Big breakout from earnings, nice little flag out into this demand, and then we had a big pop here. So Disney, are we going to do the same thing on Disney? Possibly, right? Very possible. We could break out, have a nice little flag out. I'll be watching 108. 108 first for this to hold. If not 108, I am looking down to about 106 to 104 here. If we do break down, really this 104, actually technically 105 will be my level to hold here for the line in the sand before obviously we fall off this cliff. But about 106 to 104 here underneath 108 into this demand, looking at to hold for a bounce into this nice little flag out, bounce to head higher. Or of course, the obvious trade is this breakout of 113. If we break out of 113, which would be this high here, really nothing but room into about 118, 120 here on this daily. So if we break out of these highs, there is really nothing but room into 118, 120 here. And we can see, where did we come up to? Where are we now just flagging out, creating consolidation? Well, if we look left here to February 2023, we can see pretty big. I mean, even further, right? We can even go back to 2022. We can see this is a pretty big supply and demand flip, right? Level right here. I mean, I'll just throw this up here for you guys, make it easy for you guys. Right, we can see this nice little, right, supply, demand, supply, supply, demand, supply, and now we're coming right back up to the same area here. So this does turn into supply again for us and we pull back, or does this consolidate, turn into demand, and now we head back up into 118, 120. Just keep that in mind. We are in this big supply demand flip zone. So we'll see. We'll see if we hold this, we can easily go back into 118, 120. If we fail this, we can easily go back to 100 though. So just keep those levels in mind. Show you them to you one more time. 108, 106 down to 105, and then a breakout of 113. So 113, 108, 106, 105 into this demand. Already went over IWN, already went over Apple. That is all I got since No Risky took my plays.
Sorry about that.
No, you're
You
good. No,
good?
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go over Apple one more time with you guys for those anybody who came on late. But Apple, this is what I really like about Apple, right? We came down, essentially liquidity grab. I mean, we just came down, boom, right back up. Nice little V-shaped recovery. Usually when you see things like this, there's demand, it's holding kind of a back test here, and then we go and we head back higher, right? Because this is showing us there was massive demand here. One thing to keep in mind, let me go to indicators, go 200. All right. We have this massive MOT line, mother of all trend lines here on the daily. This is where we bounced off of, right? Going from January, the lows here, right? Massive, massive trend line here that we held and bounced off of, So, it was not a surprise that we had a pretty big bounce off of here. The 200 SMA and the 200 EMA, so the 200 MAs, big old bounce off of here, off of that massive trend line. So really, we're in the middle of this range, right? We're in the middle of this range, but we are getting tight. Like I said, pretty big demand here. So if we have any back tests into about, I want 188 to hold, really into 186 to 188. If we can hold that right at this POC line on the 1 hour too, could be a launch from this volume shelf. If we're holding this, can easily send us all the way back up into these highs here around 196. Again, guys, let's take it one trade at a time this week. Trading is not about getting rich overnight or, oversizing. Everyone is in their own journey. Everyone, some have $500 accounts, some have $500,000 accounts. Some have been trading for 2 months, some have been trading for 20 years, right? Focus on yourself. That is the main thing I want everyone to do going forward is just focus on yourself. Focus on your own journey. If you're making $5 a day and someone made $50 million that day, who cares? They're not you, right? Focus on your journey. Take it one trade at a time. For most of you, if you haven't had a profitable year yet, should only be sticking to 1 to 2 contracts for 50 to 100 trades before you even size up. Why? Got to build that foundation. Got to learn your entries. Got to learn your exits. Got to learn risk management, how to control your emotions, psychology, understand screen time with price action, right? There's so many things that go into it. Take it slow. I promise you guys, if you take it slow, that is where you win. And it's got to lastly give a big shout out to everyone in the group last week. Absolutely just demolishing it with us. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone in the Wolves. And thank you guys for coming out to another Sunday Watch Top Picks. I'll see you guys next time.